Doubt is not a weakness. It is a signal. Most people experience doubt when they are changing, not when they are stagnant. When you stay still, there is nothing to question. But the moment you step towards something unfamiliar, doubt appears. It whispers, it hesitates, it asks if you are ready. And most people mistake that whisper for truth. Doubt is not proof that you are incapable. It is proof that you are uncertain. And uncertainty is not the same as inability. You can be uncertain and still capable. You can question yourself and still move forward, but most people do not see it that way. This is where most people get stuck. They believe that doubt is a warning, a sign to stop, a reason to reconsider. But doubt is not a stop sign. It is simply the mind's way of acknowledging the unknown. And the unknown is not dangerous. It is only unfamiliar. When you were a child, everything was unfamiliar. You did not know how to walk. You did not know how to speak. You did not know how to read. But you did not wait for confidence before you tried. You fell, you failed, you tried again. And eventually, through repetition, the unfamiliar became familiar. That process did not change because you became an adult. Only your relationship with doubt changed. You learned to interpret doubt as a reason to stop, but it never was. It was only ever a signal that you were entering new territory. And new territory requires movement, not certainty. They wait to feel confident before they act. They wait for clarity before they commit. They wait for certainty before they begin. And while they wait, nothing changes. Confidence does not arrive before action. It arrives because of action. Disciplined people understand this. They do not wait to feel ready. They act first, and they allow confidence to catch up later. They know that movement creates momentum, and momentum creates belief. This is not a theory. This is how belief is actually formed. You do not believe in something because you thought about it. You believe in it because you experienced it. A person who has never lifted weights does not believe they can build strength. But after weeks of consistent effort, belief arrives naturally. Not because they convince themselves, but because the evidence became undeniable. The same applies to everything. You do not believe you can write until you have written. You do not believe you can build until you have built. You do not believe you can continue until you have continued. Belief is not the starting point, it is the result. And the only way to reach that result is to act without it first. But doubt becomes dangerous when it leads to hesitation. when it creates inconsistency, when it convinces you to stop before you have given yourself a chance to build anything real. Doubt does not destroy progress by existing. It destroys progress by preventing action. And action is the only thing that builds self-trust. Self-trust is not built through positive thinking. It is not built through affirmations or motivation. It is built through repeated action. Every time you do what you said you would do, you prove something to yourself. Every time you continue when it would be easier to stop, you strengthen the part of you that does not need permission to move forward. You become someone who acts despite doubt, someone who continues even when certainty is absent. And discipline does not require you to feel ready. It only requires you to begin. Most people misunderstand discipline. They think it means forcing yourself to do things you do not want to do. But that is not discipline. That is willpower. And willpower is finite, it runs out. Discipline is different. Discipline is the practice of continuing regardless of how you feel. It is not about motivation. It is not about inspiration. It is not about waiting for the right moment. It is about showing up when showing up is difficult. It is about taking the next step when the next step feels pointless. It is about building a pattern of action that does not depend on emotion. Because emotions change, motivation fades, inspiration comes and goes. But discipline remains. And over time, discipline becomes identity. You stop being someone who tries to be disciplined. You become someone who simply is. Not because you feel like it, but because that is who you have proven yourself to be. Most people believe that progress requires confidence, but progress does not care how you feel. It only cares that you moved. You do not need to believe in yourself to take the next step. You only need to take it. And over time, the act of continuing becomes its own form of proof. Not proof that you will succeed, but proof that you are capable of continuing. And that is enough. Doubt will not disappear. It will return. It will question you again. But each time it does, you will have more evidence that you can move forward anyway. And that evidence is not built through thought. It is built through action. So do not wait for confidence. Do not wait for certainty. Do not wait to feel ready. Move, continue, build, and let doubt exist in the background while you do. Because progress rarely requires confidence. It requires movement despite doubt. And that is something you can do right now. If this resonated with you, subscribe for more Quiet Power. New videos every week on discipline, self-trust, and the art of continuing when certainty is absent. No hype, no noise, just clarity.